Hey, it's Chris Heavy Necker Cardone here. I'm here at the Heavy Leather headquarters, and don't forget to like and subscribe and tune into the Heavy Leather Record Club, available where you tune into most podcasts. And this week I'd like to talk to you about some kind of unique thing that I have going on here with two records. The two records that I have that are examples of this thing that I'm about to talk about. I have King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards album Quarters, as well as Pearl Jam's album No Code. And you might think there is no thing in common with either of these records. However, the unique thing about these two records is that, yes, it's a gatefold jacket like this. Everybody loves a good gatefold. But what Pearl Jam did here is they also did this number here where you can open it all the way up. And you have, I'm going to speak through here. And you have a whole lot more to look at. I love, the whole layout there. You got some song titles, you got some album credits over here. And they really leaned into kind of like the theme of photography with this particular record, which is cool. You get that eye into the studio. But I'm really interested in finding more records like this because I think that's a really cool effect. I think these are the only two records in my entire collection that have this sort of like fold out effect. Let's take a look at the King Gizzard one here. And I'll say this actually, first off, the King Gizzard one, you got to be a little bit careful though, because this isn't even like a real jacket like the Pearl Jam one is. This is basically the jacket basically is just a poster that's folded up, and they're calling it a jacket. But we'll let them have it. And one thing that's cool about this album, Quarters, if anybody's familiar, see how the record folds out like this. One thing that I like about this is this album, Quarters, it's made of 4 songs. Each song is 10 minutes and 10 seconds long. So there's 4 songs, hence the theme, Quarters, the title, Quarters. And each of these images is an illustration of a theme from all the songs. This one is Lonely Steel Sheet Flyer. This one's The River. This one's Infinite Rise, and this one is for a song called God Is in the Rhythm. And I really think it's cool how they did this. I think it's always unique whenever a band thinks of a conceptual idea, and I'm not saying concept album, but they take an idea and they go one step further in terms of the art that they create with the idea. I think this is an excellent example of it. Now, this particular copy of this King Gizzard record that I have here, this is the Castle Face edition. You'll see that if you look real closely here. Oh, a little bit of glare. There's a little Castle Face logo there. It does say in the liner notes of this that this is the Castle Face edition. I don't know if that means that if any of the King Gizzard Gizheads out there got it from Flightless Records, which is the label they put out most of their records at the time of this one's release. I don't know if the Flightless Records ones are like this, but the Castle Face edition one certainly is. And that Pearl Jam record that I started things off with, No Code. An additional thing that I'd like to kind of come back to this one to share about is this particular record. They included a bunch of like gigantic blown up photos. I'm trying to, there's like 5 pockets in this thing. I'm trying to see here. And this is kind of more of what I'm talking about, of like kind of coming up with a concept and taking it a step further with the execution of that concept. So you'll see that this whole sleeve is just a series of photographs all over it. And inside, there's an additional little inner sleeve, and they have these like giant blown up Polaroids, which perhaps might be outtakes, or I don't know. I don't think I have any in here that are actually on the cover. Kind of interesting photos. I'm not exactly sure what the story behind it is. I'm sure somebody out there who loves Eddie Vedder far more than I do could tell me. But they're all sort of dark in an odd way, which to me, this isn't a very dark record. It's sort of very introspective, but I wouldn't say dark. That's gross.
Right.
Jesus. Anyway. And, with the King Gizzard record, This Pearl Jam record is just the standard black vinyl, but this King Gizzard record is so cool. I love the effect that they did on this one. It's like this half transparent splatter, half like translucent purple. So cool. And you'll also notice that they did that thing that I was telling you about, where they took the images of the different songs and they mixed them on the label in there. So on this outer ring, it's the river artwork, and the inner, it's the God is the Rhythm artwork. On the other side, you see the Lonely Steel Sheet Flyer artwork, centered with the Infinite Rise artwork. Love a good theme when it's executed well. So anyway, I'm Chris Heavy Necker Cardone here at Heavy Leather headquarters. You can tune in, hear more about records with my pals and I on the Heavy Leather Record Club podcast, wherever you tune into podcasts. And maybe you'll start seeing my face around here more often as we try to beef up this channel. And tune in every Thursday when that podcast drops, and we'll speak at length about the new stuff that's cool and stuff that's pissing us off, stuff that we like to snack on, and tunes all the way throughout.